All right, what's going on, everybody? So, we are back. Uh, First mock draft of the 2024 um era or season. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It is still December. It's super early, but I just wanted to go ahead and get out here and get that first one out of the way, man. Usually I start off every year by doing just a first round mock. But this year I'm gonna start off with the Steelers. I've got a different plan for this year when it comes to making content for the NFL draft. I'm looking at probably at least one video a week, maybe two. Um, I'm thinking about doing 1 week 7 round mock draft, and the next week like a full round just mock draft, just because there's only really so much you can do with it, especially with those 1 round mock drafts when you're picking for every single team and you kind of have this idea set in your head of this is what this position needs. These are the guys I like. And the draft order at that point, once we get past, like the season's end, for about 2 months there before the draft order is not going to change unless there's a trade somewhere, somebody trading up, somebody trading down, whatever. And that's pretty rare too. So this year I'm starting out not with a like a full 1 round mock draft of every single team. I'm gonna start out with my Pittsburgh Steelers. This is usually the only team I ever make more than one 7 round mock draft for. I think I only made two last year. I'm trying to make more for the Steelers this year and more 7 round mocks for my goal is to make one for every single team. Be able to look at every single team and say, hey, this is positions of need in my opinion for this team. And these are the guys that, that they could get. Whereas whether it's at pick 23 in the first round for the Steelers or if it's pick 197. But yeah, again, it's December the 13th right now. So a lot of stuff is still up in the air. A lot of stuff is still in question. There's still performances for these guys to put on in bowl games and college football playoff games. Probably not bowl games for some of them. College football playoff games for some of them. Uh, Pro days, NFL combine, Senior Bowl, all this, all that. So yeah, so and then on top of that, the unprecedented, like, or not unprecedented, but like the unknowns of free agency, who's going to request a trade to get out of there, all of that, who's going to bring someone in, whatever, so on and so forth. So yeah, but we're here today. I appreciate y'all's support last year if y'all are a fan of the channel. And if you're new here, like I said at the beginning of the video, I love doing NFL draft content. It's really the only thing I ever do. And I usually every year I say I'm gonna do grades and then do all this off season content, and I never do it. I don't really know why. It's just I don't know. I kind of lose some interest at some point, but I'm trying to be more locked in this year. Just finishing up college, so it's really a little bit more free time on my hands to be able to record videos like at night and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna try to fix my camera real quick, adjust it. New background. We're back at home now. I got a little Clemson poster, Kobe poster, and some other stuff. And this little thing I got when I was like 8 years old at like a state fair of me on top of Optimus Prime. It's pretty cool. But anyways, let's get in right to it. Let me talk about the Steelers real quick. My Pittsburgh Steelers. In my opinions, as of right now, these are our main positions of need that I would look at either through free agency, trades, or the draft to address. Starting wise, I would say we need a new center 1000%. That's my biggest need. We need a new left or right tackle. It doesn't really matter, honestly, because I think Broderick Jones can play either one. But we have been playing him at right, so preferably a left tackle. But either way, I'm fine with whatever. A middle linebacker, just because our guys that we brought in this year, and Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts, and Quan Alexander, mainly those three, played really good, but two of them got hurt and are out for the year. So that hurts a lot. But and they're also kind of older. A CB2 to play opposite of Joe Porter Jr. or a slot corner. Either one I'm fine with. And then probably a strong safety because we can't, no offense to him, I like him. I love Keanu Neal, but we can't roll Keanu Neal and Devontae Casey out there for 8 more years. So I'd like to get a new strong safety. There's a guy I really like in mind for there. But then I also look at maybe some DB depth, from some edge depth for sure. Potentially a wide receiver, especially if we end up moving on from Deontay Juice Johnson. And then maybe some QB depth too, because we're probably gonna lose Mason Rudolph. So maybe go out there and bring in a guy in like the 6th round or something like that, maybe if that's how the cards fall. But yeah, it all depends on how, like I just said, how the cards fall to you. So let's get this started. Y'all know how, if y'all been here before, y'all know how this works. If I start this draft and I see someone like, Joe Alt sitting there at whatever pick I'm at, I'm not going to pick them. I am going to restart the draft because that is a little bit unrealistic. I try to keep it as much realistic as I can. So let's get the draft started. I'm liking how it's going so far. But yeah, probably going to look tackle or corner here in the 1st round at pick number 23, which is currently where the Pittsburgh Steelers set at. I'm fine with doing some trades. I'll always look at these trade offers. None of those are good enough for me. And this is like absolute perfect scenario right here. Both Nate Wiggins and Talise, I think it's how you say it, Talise Fuaga, both on the board. Fuaga, absolute mauler in the run game. Really good tackle. Would love to bring him into Pittsburgh if that's option. But as we see up here, right there, Clemson. Clemson guy, huge Nate Wiggins fan over here, man. Hustle is there, physicality. I think he's a very similar player to Joey Porter Jr. And with that being said, let's put them two on islands on opposite sides of each other. I love the idea of that. But in that case scenario, I will say this: there isn't many offensive tackles after Fuaga that I like. Tyler Guyton's okay. Some guys that have already went off the board, like. Let's see. Kingsley, I don't know how I say it. He's out of BYU. I'm guessing he's off. Jordan Morgan's off the board. Fatano, I really like him. He might profile as a guard, though. Same with Graham Barton out of Duke. Patrick Paul. There he is. Kingsley Suamatia, I think is how you say it. So, yeah. Tyler Guyton is definitely something I'm looking at here. Really hard because usually you got to pick Cedric Van Pran here. You're not going to get him. I am going to take Tyler Guyton. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to monitor the board. If Van Pran isn't off the board by about pick 75 here, I'm going to entertain trading up to go get him. And he's not. Rams sitting there at 76. I'm going to attempt to move up 9 spots to take Cedric Van Pran right here. Cedric Van Pran is like my number one draft like target right now, honestly. We made a deal last year with the Carolina Panthers, I think, that was somewhat similar to this. Where they moved up a few spots around this area and they ended up giving us like a 4th round pick for it. So that's what I'm gonna offer the Rams. I guess it's realistic in those terms. Gonna reject that offer, and I'm gonna take Cedric Van Pran, the center out of Georgia. Great pickup for us right there. Loving how this draft has turned out so far. Loving it. Definitely gonna look safety here at 111. Even though most of the guys I like are off the board. So I might skip out on safety here. Not interested in that. Look, linebacker. Ooh, most of my linebacker guys are going to, but I'm going to go with Peyton Wilson. He just won. I'm blanking on the award name, but I'm pretty sure it's like the best like defensive player in college football award. Great tackler, great linebacker in general. I think he could benefit being in the same room as a Landon Roberts, and Quan Alexander and Cole Holcomb. So I think that's a great pick for us there. At 111, Peyton Wilson, linebacker at NC State. Next pick is up at 197. Gonna look safety again. Tyke Smith is still sitting there. Is something I am interested in. We got our tackle, we got our middle linebacker, we got our corner, we got our center. So I'm gonna look safety here. Not interested in that. Moose Muhammad being there at wide receivers, interesting. The edge guys aren't too great. Looking at my list over here, I mean, quarterback, like I said, I wouldn't look quarter. If I'm going to draft a quarterback, it'd be right here. I'm going to look safety just because we get them to get someone. I'm gonna take Tyke Smith out of Georgia. I think that's the best option. Um, but somebody I really, really like, speaking of safeties out of Georgia, is Javon Bullard, man. I mean, that kid is a baller. Takes great like routes and stuff in the run game, to cut guys off and make the tackle. Great tackler. And he's a good coverage safety too. Really like him. I'm gonna look here again at wide receivers. Dorian Singer. Here's a guy like Trey Harris way down the board. Wow, he's really far down there. I really like Trey Harris's like size as a receiver. I'm gonna. This is a pick I've entertained before. Is Talia. Um, but there's just nobody really that I'm seeing that I like. Well, like BPA, I guess, is Devin Van out of NC State, and I think I want to double down on corner. I think I'm just going to go BPA, and the highest ranked guy is a guy D line. I think D line depth and edge depth. I know I said edge depth at the beginning of this video, but I think D line depth in general, including the edge, is something that we could really look at. So we'll go pair him up with his teammate Peyton Wilson that we drafted earlier. And yeah, that's the mock. So we do move up 10 spots to get Cedric Van Pran, which I am 1000% okay with. Getting Nate Wiggins again, like I said, a physical corner out of Clemson. I don't know what's happening here. Consensus first rounder right now. A lot of people's CB1s, him and Kool-Aid McKinstry. I mean, you see where he's going. I mean, as high as 8th overall right there. Really big fan of him. Hustles there. He made a really great play that actually saved it. Honestly, like saved a game for us and the season for us, low key against UNC. We were on the verge of going down 14-0. Omarion Hampton, running back for UNC, is running down the sideline like a 60-yard run. And Nate Wiggins absolutely just chases him down and punches the ball out at the 2-yard line, pops into the end zone, out of bounds, Clemson football. So, yeah, awesome play by him. I always remember that play. That's a play that's going to stand out to a lot of coaches and scouts when watching film, too. Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Cedric Van Pran, again, a guy that I really, really like here. Center out of Georgia. He's that guy. Like he is a Creed Humphrey to me, honestly, a guy that, because they don't value center really in the NFL, he's probably going to fall. Which we didn't see it last year. Joe Tittman out of Wisconsin ended up going pretty early over a guy that I really liked in John Michael Smits out of Minnesota. They both went around the 40-something range in the second round. So maybe we look Cedric Van Pran here at 54 and just go ahead and get him out of the way. But Nate Wiggins more than likely not going to be on the board here at 23. So I would be leaning more tackle. I think what's more realistic is tackle here with Fuaga out of Oregon State that I mentioned earlier. And then like maybe Van Pran here, corner here, flip these two. And then Peyton Wilson, linebacker out of NC State, with Devin Van, a D lineman out of NC State. And a guy like Tyke Smith, safety out of Georgia. And then again, there's another thing. If this is the first time you're seeing the channel, or if it's not, you've seen my channel before, I love to do this when running these just because of how big the differences of picks can be by the CPU and stuff. I love running two mock drafts and running these 7 rounds because it just, it makes it better. A lot of different things, like Caleb Williams didn't go number 1 last mock draft. He just went number 1 this mock draft. Just see, look, this is what I meant earlier. Like Drake May didn't go until 22 right there. I'm going to probably, and Dallas Turner. I mean, wow, is that Dallas Turner still sitting? It is. I mean, what is happening? What is this draft? Nate Wiggins goes 14. Yeah, I'm gonna restart this one. That is weird. Jaden Daniels at 8 to the Jets. I mean, what was that sim? What was that? That's insane. Drake May not until 22. Dallas Turner still on the board at 23. Wow, what? Okay, Caleb Williams first again. See, look, like Dallas Turner's went like 5th. There we go. Drake May to the Giants. Jaden Daniels is not Jaden Daniels is gonna last to us now. I'm seeing a lot of Steelers Nation out there. Jaden Daniels. No, guys. No, John Newton being here is interesting. Again, I was talking about Graham Barton earlier. He is not a guy I would look at. I think he's more of a guard. Same with Fatanu. Oh my gosh, dude, this is like slim right here. This is one of those things where you just got to go BPA because, like, I mean, like, I'm not huge on Kalen King. Kamari Lassiter maybe could be a potential pick here. Same with Troy Fontana if we want to try to play him at tackle. But here's what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna trade back. Who's the best player like on the board right now? Jaden Daniels, a team that would need a quarterback. Who's a team that would need a quarterback that'd be willing to move up here? New England picked theirs already. New England did not go QB. So let's try this. This is the first time I think I've ever done this, trying to make my own trade back. I don't think I've ever done this before. Usually I just accept ones that are offered to me. Give me all of that, and then I'll give you like 7, 241, and a future 6. Sure. I don't know if that's a realistic trade, but we just picked up a ton of picks right there. Gonna move back, draft someone else. Why is it glitching like that? What is happening? This site is acting weird or something to that matter. We must have just killed that first mock so much that that's what it's gonna do. 35. I'm gonna stick corner here, and I'm gonna go Quindon Mitchell out of Toledo. Really, really, really just like versatile, twitchy guy out of Toledo. I know people can be like, small school, right? Probably not that good. Well, it's okay. That's all right. I saw Bingo. I think Bingo put out a mock draft the other day talking about Quindon Mitchell. He's slipping in the first round, actually. And he was like, people are going to say this about him playing at small school, but really, I completely agree with him. You don't pick these guys, especially corners, based off of who they're playing against. You take them off of traits. That's how the NFL's always been. You can look at Drake May's stats and say he wasn't that good in college. He was playing the ACC, but like the traits are there of an NFL quarterback for him. Quindon Mitchell's hips, very fluent, hands, all that, feet, everything. I'm gonna go Van Pran here at 54 this time. I'm gonna hope that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. sticks around here. The 66, he does. This is going to be a tough pick for me because am I going to go JTJ or Javon Bullard? Ooh, man. I like Cedric Gray a little bit. So I'm going to take the guy that I really like in Javon Bullard here and hope that maybe okay, there he goes off the board. All right, Cedric Gray is still here, so we're gonna take Cedric Gray here for our linebacker spot of need. I'm not trading back with the Browns because I don't like the Browns. I don't know too much about Edgerrin Cooper. I'm gonna have to look into him because he's right there with Cedric Gray. Cedric Gray is a guy that I got to watch in person, being on the sideline against North Carolina when App played them, and I mean he just flies around to the ball. He is everywhere. Really good tackler. I'm not sure about his pass coverage skills are probably not that good. But I know he's a big like run guy. The only problem that we're messing around right now with is not having an offensive tackle. I think with this pick, I think I might just take one. Let me look what else is on the board. Oh, Nazir Stackhouse. But like 3 Georgia players. No. Yeah. Maybe we are gonna take 3 Georgia players. Nobody really on the edge, receivers. I guess we're gonna take BPA here with. I'm gonna try to pronounce this guy's name, Kyron Emagaje, maybe out of Yale, offensive tackle. We're gonna take him, see what it's about. Might double down with an offensive tackle in this. I'm down to move back again, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to. Let's look. Let's look at wide receiver. I'm down for Jalen McMillan. He's kind of, yeah, I'm down for Jalen McMillan. Why not? Nice little depth piece in the wide receiver room. We got another pick coming up here at 136. Oh, look, D-line, I think. I'm gonna look D-line for sure. Here's Robinson's not too bad. It's one of those BPA picks, I think. I think I'm gonna double down at linebacker with this guy I just picked earlier. And actually, I'm gonna take Jamon. No, I'm gonna double down with Peyton Wilson again. So Peyton Wilson and Cedric Van Pran double down picks for me here. And then I'm gonna look into everything else. Carson Beck will not be in the draft this year. I can guarantee you that. There's Robinson. No, he's gone now. Huh. Pick 197. So we still got a little while. We're gonna probably go BPA here. Actually, I think I'm gonna double down on offensive tackle too. Is Zion Nelson still sitting here? I'm gonna actually make this trade. I'm gonna move back 2 spots with Arizona, get an extra pick, and do it again. I'm not going to that. I'm gonna double down offensive tackle here. I'm gonna Zion Nelson or Jack Nelson. I'm gonna go Zion Nelson. This is a guy, Zion Nelson. If I'm not, maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like a good while ago, Zion Nelson was like really highly considered as a first round pick, like at some point. And the reason I traded back here is to get that D line depth. Oh, here's another just North Carolina guy that I really like, and Kamen Rucker. I mean, that guy is a body run stopper. Love it. Love that pick there. Kamen Rucker. I think they call him something like the Grave Digger or something like that. It's insane. Like some crazy, like cool nickname like that. Yeah, A+ pick by Kamen Rucker there. Okay. So yeah, we make 2 trades in this one. We trade back from 23, pick up 35, 66, and 136, and included a 7th in there. And then we also traded back again later on, traded from 197 to 109, picked up 221. We get Quinion Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo, Cedric Van Pran, interior offensive lineman out of Georgia, again, center. Javon Bullard, safety out of Georgia, Cedric Gray, linebacker of North Carolina. I'm not going to try to say his name again, but this offensive tackle out of Yale, Jalen McMillan out of Washington, Peyton Wilson, linebacker out of NC State, Zion Nelson, offensive tackle out of Miami, and Kamen Rucker, D lineman out of University of North Carolina. So that's the Steelers. That's the Steelers, baby. But yeah, I just think replacing Mason Cole, who played great last year, but has been a detrimental part to our offense this year. Replacing him is key. Replacing Dan Moore Jr., which is what we drafted Broderick Jones to do, and now he replaced Chuks Okorafor instead, I think is key. Middle linebacker, like I said, we've got 3 good ones. They're just kind of older. Quan Alexander, Landon Roberts, Cole Holcomb, 2 of those went out for the year. Landon Roberts has been banged up kind of all year, but still playing. Mark Robinson just hasn't really been it. We brought in guys like Blake Martinez, Miles Jack, Tariq Carpenter, all these random guys, Michael Walker, and they haven't really done anything either. Again, another CB or cornerback 2 would be really nice, opposite of Joe Porter Jr. Or I wouldn't even mind a nickel corner that could play slot and match up with these Tyreek Hills and these these really fast receivers. I know guarding Tyreek Hill is like impossible, but and then a strong safety to kind of replace Keanu Neal, or at least sit behind him for a year, get in there, get in the rotation. I think TV depth, like I said, is important in general. Corners, safeties, whatever. Edge depth, I think, is important. Because TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith are constantly getting injured. I feel like they're the bright spot of our defenses besides Minka. Or, well, not besides Minka. It goes TJ, Minka, then Highsmith, I'd say. But on top of that, Cam Hayward is getting old. This might be his last season for all we know. We've got Nick Herbig, who's looked decent while playing. And then we got Larry Ogunjobi too. And we're probably going to lose Montravius Adams. He's more of a DT, but anyways. And then I think a wide receiver is important if we were to I think Allen Robinson. I can't remember if Allen Robinson's contract runs out after this year or not, but Juice after this next season does. So I wouldn't be surprised if we move on from him. And then maybe like a QB depth guy because Mitchell Trubisky's awful, Mason Rudolph is awful, and Mason Rudolph is probably gone anyway. So yeah. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm not sure when the next one of these is going to come out because again it's December. I might try to get one after the college football season ends. On here. Maybe a full 1-round mock draft. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So I appreciate y'all watching and appreciate this any support given. Let me know if you're a Steelers fan and you come across this video, what you think in the comments. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time here on the channel. Peace.